Well, hello and welcome to Bobo Bun. I'm Lisa, a vintage inspired dressmaker and dressmaking teacher, and I love to share all of my skills, my tips, what I'm up to in terms of knitting and sewing with you whenever I pop on here. Today I want to chat with you about my autumn sewing plans as we're moving into the new season and waving goodbye to the last bits of summer, the summer that kind of happened but didn't. I'll also be sharing with you next time my autumn knitting plans, sort of finishing up old knits and moving forward with new ones. So this is a two-part sort of planning. Before I share with you some of the patterns and the fabric and my ideas, I'm wearing one of my first autumn makes. It was this September's bonus project for my Trixie patrons over at Bobo Bun's Sewing Club on Patreon. And I showed them how to draft this lovely keyhole neck, tie neck bodice, and it has darts that radiate from the centre. They're the only darts, so you get a really lovely smooth feel over this bodice, and it has a side zip, so the back's cut on the fold with two back darts. And I also showed them how to create these lovely puff sleeves with the band. And paired with it I've got a three-tiered full skirt, which was earlier in the month's project, the patio skirt. So it's got a very swishy feel to it. I was very much inspired by 30 shapes for the bodice and the sleeves. The skirt is very much late 40s, it was very popular in the 50s, even though it was first designed in the late 30s. But rather than putting a true 30s style skirt on this bodice, as I have done with other incarnations, this is my fourth version of this dress. I'm longing to get my most favourite one of them all finished. I need to get help hemming it because it's a skirt that's all cut on the bias. But I'll pop up the bodice. If I didn't, I think I might have discussed it with you in my last chat. My brain at the moment, I'm filming for so many projects, for Patreon, from here, for Instagram, for other content, that my brain sometimes, I can't remember where I've been, leaving a trail behind me. So on to some of my autumn projects that I do hope to get done alongside everything else that I'm working on. Now, for a long time now, I'm just grabbing the patterns, I wanted to actually make myself a slip to wear under dresses. If a bodice is quite see-through, I will line it or underline it, but I very rarely line a skirt. I'll put a petticoat underneath. But really, having a full-length slip would be just as handy if something is a little bit see-through. So I've got these two beautiful patterns here, and looking, they're both in my size. This one is a Butterick slip pattern. If I bring that back, you should be able to see it, and bring it a bit closer forwards. Stop peeking around the side, Lisa, and then you can actually see it. So it's really lovely, simple slip. So I could either do it plain or with lace. And the other one I've got here is a simplicity one. And I'm also going to use this pattern to make this petticoat here. So my ideas for these slips, in my stash I've got this beautiful, I can't even remember what the fabric is, but it's like a blush pink. Oh, it just feels gorgeous. Must be some sort of satiny crepe. I bought it so long ago, but it drapes beautifully. So that will make a really lovely slip. Pop that over there. I've got this original 1930s, lingerie fabric here that I bought from Donna Flower Vintage Fabrics. Sorry, Donna Flower Vintage Fabrics. I think you can see that with the tiny flowers on it. I hope that came into focus. There we go. So that could either be a petticoat or a slip. I'm not sure how much I've got. These things I've got in my stash. They've been there a while. And for the petticoat, which I will pair with some cotton, I have this lovely, it's a stretch tulle in white with black velvet polka dots. Get it the right way around. I've also got a lovely pink with polka dots on as well, so to make some more petticoats. I I pretty much wear I've got a blue and a sort of lovely nutmeggy brown one that I wear under all my skirts all year round, just to give them a little bit more floof, and they feel just super comfortable keeping the skirts away from me. So I know I love a petticoat, so I really, really must. They're not long projects, I must get on with doing them. So that's kind of like the underneathy stuff. Then I'm thinking of the outerwear. Now, I might have shown this to you, I'm not sure. I recently found 4 meters of this raspberry sort of flecked wool in the charity shop for a incredibly, I mean, it was about the same price that a meter of wool would be. I've got 4 meters of this. Now, in my brain, I was thinking, I'll leave this over my shoulder for now. In my brain, I was thinking, well, I could make this into trousers. I'm still thinking this, trousers and a waistcoat, not together. I don't like really matchy things, but I was thinking trousers and a waistcoat, or just a jacket and a waistcoat, you know, because I've got 4 meters, so I could get a lot out of this. But 4 meters would also make a full length coat. So my brain, I can't decide at the moment. But also in my stash, I've got this beautiful leopard fur. I've got much more of this. And that would make a super collar for this. But I've also bought this to go with some black mohair wool that I was going to copy an old coat of mine, a fitted Noah Noah coat. That was last winter's plans. But so many ideas, and you know, some of them happen and some have to be stored away for another day. But one idea is maybe pairing these together and then using this pattern, this McCall's one. So the fur would be in this lovely collar here either. Not sure. I do rather like the one that buttons over. So that's a possible. I mean, that very much is this colour, isn't it? So that's a possible for that. I'm not sure. But I'll pop up a picture of the waistcoat that I made in some lovely vintage wool last year and loved wearing it. It's in the black and greys and goes with lots of things. So I know I will be making more waistcoats this winter because I had so much pleasure wearing it, and it's that extra layer of warmth. And I love the layering of prints, you know, florals with checks, and then the wools, you know, and different textures and fabrics together. Yeah, it makes me really happy. That's the one thing I do love about the colder months for dressing. I love the summer for the ease, the bare legs, and just wearing floaty fun fabrics, but equally the warmer months for the layering, the colour, the different textures, the different prints, the mismatching of them all. So I'm going to put this heavy wool to one side. Just pop that over there. Oh, while I was on the subject of coats, this is another coat pattern. I've got this Vintage Vogue and this beautiful suit here. So yeah, other possibles. Oh, too many ideas. But I'm sure I will narrow it all down. If you want to give me any feedback, that will also be gratefully received. In my stash cupboard, I've also got some lovely denim that I put away, meaning to make myself some more high-waisted sort of copies of Freddy's of Pinewood jeans. I've got a pair that I love to wear and I want to make a darker denim, but I don't think I'm going to use the denim in my cupboard for that. I'm tempted to use that denim to make these Vintage Vogue trousers. I think they're just really beautiful, very simple design. So, you know, sort of more a jean trouser with that denim that I've got in my cupboard. So I'm thinking of all of the essentials, the underwear, the outerwear. Definitely need some more trousers. I put so much weight around my middle, which I do want to try and get rid of. I think having had my gallbladder removed, so the body's not doing all the same things that it does with removing fat, and the menopause. So yeah, totally aging this chat here. But those things have made it harder to lose weight and making me increase weight around the middle. So I do need to revisit my trouser pattern and remodify it, but I do want to lose this weight. But for now I need things that I can actually wear comfortably, so that's the plan. Now, one of my last ideas, other than all the blouses and dresses and things that I will most probably be making, and there's so many projects that I've got coming up for my patrons at Bobo Bun Sewing Club, which I can't share with you until I've made them, but I know what we've got coming up in October and I'm excited about that, and also something very useful for me. So I'm making a noise here stroking this fabric. Now this fabric doesn't seem sort of very autumnally focused, to be honest, but it's this beautiful pink stretch needle cord, of which I've got a fair amount here. Earlier in the year there was a big sale going on, I think it was at Dalston Mills, I can't remember. That's where I got my denim, this, and I got something else from some jersey which I made a dress in. I'd seen a Vampire's Wife dress. This is a paler pink than it's showing up on here, but I think it looks rather good with black. So I thought fishnets and black shoes, some black accessories, just to tone this pink down for a wintry warm dress. But I saw an amazing Vampire's Wife dress in a pink cord. It was on... it was a thicker cord, but I wanted more of a needle cord. I prefer that to sew with than the thicker cord. And it was on a celebrity, can't remember who, forgot to save a picture of it, but it looked marvellous. So I know I want to make a Vampire's Wife. I've got the bodice pattern already, you know, with those lovely French darts that come in from just below the waist, or just at the waist, and the sleeves with the ruffles. So I know I've got my pattern all drafted up for that, and the A-line skirt, so it's all good to go, just got to get on with making it. So whether this will be a success, obviously this is the wrong side, but whether this will be a success, who knows, but it's something I want to try out. So yeah, quite a few things to get on in terms of the sewing, and then my brain's thinking of all the accessories, the brooches I want to make, the bags, the belts, yeah, the list goes on. And then we'll be getting towards Christmas and thinking of possibly a Christmas frock, or going to a dance, a dress for a dance. So lots and lots of ideas. So thank you for joining me today with my delve into some of my ideas for the upcoming season, all sewing related this time. If you enjoy my content, then please join me by pressing subscribe, and then you'll be notified each time a video comes out. Please comment, and then I can chat with you. I'd love to hear what you think, and let people know I'm over here. Until next time, goodbye, and I shall see you again very soon.